Hey guys, welcome to Mount Comfort RV today. We have a special day. Not only is it beautiful outside, but we also have our Thor Magnitude rep here to help us out. Right now we are standing in front of the Thor Magnitude 2022. This is the RS36. It's the new Super C for the Magnitude on the 600 chassis. I'm going to throw it over to Garrett here. He knows a whole lot about him. Obviously, he's the sales rep. So,
thank you, Blake. All right, so I'm Garrett Libertowski with Thor Motor Coach, and I'm going to go over the 2022 RS36. So this is our new Bunk model. It's actually pretty exciting because we just started able to buy the F600 chassis now. So we have 4 floor plans, and how it's set up, you got the XG32, SV34, those are on the 550. Now we have the RS36 Bunk model and the BT36 bath and a half on the F600. The full lineup is 4x4, but the biggest thing with this F600 chassis is it's actually a Class 6 truck wrapped in that F550 body. So the biggest thing with the F600 is it has a higher carrying capacity. So you actually have extra reinforcement behind the cab. You're gonna have wider tires. The tires are actually, tires and wheels are wider by 0.75 inches, so it's able to hold a higher load. You have an upgraded front axle. You also have upgraded suspension, and then you have upgraded U-joints throughout the chassis as well. So all of that, including the upgraded brakes to handle the extra, give you extra stopping power for all that excess weight that they're adding in there. And really the biggest thing with it is, since it's a Class 6 truck, it has a 22,000 pound GVWR, where like the 550 has a 19,500 pound GVWR, which makes that a Class 5 truck. So it really gives you the payload of a larger vehicle in a smaller body, so it's more maneuverable. And one of the biggest things with it is the actual carrying capacity itself goes up about a little over 3,300 pounds, so it can actually hold a lot of weight on the inside there. But it's really a fantastic driving motorhome. Has a ton of power. It's powered by the 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8 turbo diesel motor. So that's got 330 horsepower, 825 pound-feet of torque. That's the 3rd generation 6.7 Power Stroke. You also have a 10-speed automatic transmission with selectable drive modes. And with all those enhancements right there that Ford made in 2020, it is a phenomenal driving motorhome. Great power, great fuel economy. But kind of talking about the actual vehicle now, in the motorhome, up front we do have upgraded, on top of the Ford bumper, you have this custom skirting up front. You do have paint protection to protect the paint from any rock chips, dirt, and debris. This actually, come down the side here, you'll be able to see those larger wheels and tires. Remember, they are wider to handle the added weight you got there. And I talked about how it is 4x4, and you do have to lock the hubs to go into the 4x4. It does have an auto mode as well, but recommend putting it into, just lock it over whenever you're going into 4-wheel drive. You got great side view mirrors. The nice thing with it is they extend pretty far out, giving you a great field of view. It does have the blinker on the side. Those are power adjustable, and you do have the towing mirror in there as well. You have a nice step up going into the cab and a nice light, so that way when you're getting at night you can see nice and easy, as well with keyless entry. One of the biggest things with the new cab you got up here is the interior. You're going to notice this new gray interior instead of the brown that Ford's offered in the past, which gives it a really cool look. But a lot of the amenities up in the cab here, we put in all-weather floor liners at Thor, so that way it kind of gets a little muddy. It keeps everything nice and clean, easy to clean up. You do get power adjustable seats, power adjustable forward, back, up, down, lumbar support. The back is manual. We actually wrap the seats ourselves to match the furniture on the inside of the motorhome. And the interior of the cab, it's actually the XLT package, so you get a lot of items on the inside, including the Ford Sync 3 infotainment center with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, Ford navigation. You do have auto headlamps right here, power adjustable pedals, so you can actually adjust the pedals right there. Your emergency start, your fog lights. To switch into different drive modes is right up here on the shifter itself. You can actually put it into normal, tow haul, eco, slippery, and then this rear view mirror right here is where your side view and rear view cameras are going to be integrated. And then this is the Ford Shift on the Fly, so it does have the shifter to easily put it into 4-wheel drive. But going down the side here, one thing you're also going to notice is for the 2022 model year, we came out with a whole new paint scheme. So we have Chandler Blue, Vermilion Cliffs, as well with Granite Creek. So all new paint schemes. We really just changed up the design of it but it's a Sikkens automotive paint, so it's a really high-end paint that never fully cures. You'll get no stress cracks along the belt line here as the motorhome flexes going down the road. But few things to talk about is storage. You get a ton of storage capacity, all rotocast storage, so no mold, no mildew, no rust. You do have LED lighting in all the cargo bays, so with one touch of a switch, all your lights will go on. And another thing is all your baggage doors. They are side hinged and slam latch, so easy open and close. No rotary hinges. Now what powers the house is you do have a 6,000 watt Cummins Onan quiet diesel generator. Now that powers all the appliances on the inside, charges your batteries, and that runs off of the Ford fuel tank that you have. Your depth fill right here is easy access, so that way you can put in more depth fluid, and you actually have a gauge on the front instrument cluster that shows you your depth level. Now when it comes to your water heater, it's a tankless water heater. So it's on-demand hot water. It's Girard's third generation. What's nice with it is Girard says it uses 80% less LP, so it's very efficient. It has a module in the bathroom that you set the temperature, so it's very easy to use. Now talking fuel, another thing with fuel is you have two fuel tanks, a front tank and a rear tank. 48 gallons or 68 gallons of total fuel capacity, 28 in the front, 40 in the rear. They switch over automatically, so when you're driving, there's nothing you need to worry about. Fill up each tank independently, and when you're driving down the road, it does its own deal, so nothing you need to worry about with the separate tanks.
Now, does your generator, does that run off of both of the tanks, or is that just off of the rear one, off the front?
That's going to be off of the front tank.
Okay.
Now, right here, this is where you're going to have your main dump station. So you got your sewer hose right here. It does have the swivel head. So when you want to dump your tank, swivel it down, remove the cap right here, hook up your hose. You got your black and your gray knife valves. Pop out your black, dump your black tank. Got your gray, pull the gray, kind of flush everything out. And the nice thing with this is you do have your outside shower located right here. So after you're done dumping your tanks and you kind of want to clean off your storage or your sewer hose, turn on the hot water, clean off that sewer hose before you put it in storage. You also have a black tank flush located right here as well to clean off the black tank, and so that those sensors read properly after you're done camping. Now right here you do have city water connections, so that way when you're at the campsite you can hook up to their water. And one thing I do want to point out with kind of our construction, this slide out was actually the original wall of the entire sidewall. So we actually cut this sidewall out of the original wall, took it out, built the sidewall and put it right back in, so that way it's a very flush fit every time it goes in or out. Another thing with it is all of our cutouts in the sidewall. This is all pre-framed in aluminum. So if you took out the window, you would actually see the aluminum framing sitting right there. So that way it's going to be a perfect fit when we put that window in there. More storage that you see here. The nice thing is you do have pass-through storage located right here. So a lot of larger items, lawn chairs, fishing poles, you can fit it in there nice and easy. You do have the brain box for the slide controller right here. So that way, slide's ever stuck in the out position, you remove these two cords right here. You can push this slide in manually, which is a really nice, cool override. This right here is gonna be your rear fuel tank. So you do have just normal diesel fuel. So nothing crazy you gotta worry about there. Cable connection at the campsite. You do have 50 amp connection. Going to the back here, this is gonna be your power cord. 50 amp service like we talked about, but more storage that you see here. Now going around to the back, one of the big things to talk about, I forgot to mention at the beginning, is this has a 12,000 pound hitch. So the 550s have a 10,000 pound hitch, but the 600s come with a 12,000 pound hitch because you have that 22,000 pound GVWR and your GCWR goes up as well. So we're able to put a larger hitch on there. Also on the back end, you have a one-piece fiberglass rear cap, which gives a great look. It also protects the back wall there. You got a roof ladder going all the way up to the roof. And if you're doing your maintenance up on the roof, it's fully walkable. It's aluminum trussed every 15 inches off the center. And then it's fully wrapped with a one-piece roofing, so there's no seals that you need to maintain around the edges. You do have a 100 watt solar panel that comes standard from the factory already set up there, so that's already charging the house batteries, and that's just gonna top off your battery levels. Freshwater fill right here, it's a gravity fill. This right here is gonna be your LP quick connect for any gas grill or LP appliance. You got a nice outside kitchen located out here with a nice mini fridge. You got the stainless steel bowl sink. And then, so how this kind of works, to give you an idea, when you're out camping, this is gonna fill up with water. And then once this fills up with the water, you hit the pump right here, shoots the water up and into your tank. So that way it works nice and easy, because a lot of these used to be up higher in the past. A lot of people couldn't reach it, so we dropped it down lower, but instead of using gravity for the water to get into your tank, we now use the pump, which makes it much easier.
Similar to like a macerator on a toilet kind of deal.
Similar, yeah, just doesn't grind it, just shoots it. Right here is just the exhaust for your furnace. It's a 30,000 BTU furnace. More storage here. Going down the side, you do have 110 outlets. That way you got a cell phone you want to charge out at the campsite, add any outside appliance, you can plug it in there. And then your LP tank's located right here, 68.2 pounds of propane. You can fill it up at any normal residential filling station. Another cool thing to talk about is you do have a auto leveling system. It's hydraulic. It's a 4-point leveling system, but that's the motor for it right there, easy to access. One thing talking about the rear tires, you have 2 tires on each side on the back end. You do have a valve stem extender for that inside tire, so that way you can fill it up easily, check the tire pressure, kind of less hassle. Now, one thing I want to point out is this awning up top. So we got a very large awning. It's the Carefree legless awning, so there's no legs that extend down, but it actually covers a lot of the campsite. And up on the corner, front corner right there, that actually has a motion sensor inside there. So when the awning's out and you get a large gust of wind and that awning starts to shake, once it gets a pretty good shake, it's going to retract back in automatically. But really the nice thing with these awnings, it's one touch out, one touch in. If you want to stop it, one touch of a button and it stops. So it makes it really convenient. We do have LED lighting up there as well. And then coming around over here, you're going to see this double door storage area, tons of storage, and it's pass-through storage. So there's an absolutely phenomenal amount of storage up here. You do have an 1800 watt pure sine wave Xantrax inverter on the inside. So that way it powers some of the different items on the inside of the motorhome. And one other thing I talked about is you do have side view cameras located on each side of the motorhome, and you do have rear view cameras, and those come standard. 2 more things before we cover the inside. Wing wall right here. You do have a fiberglass wing wall. It does have a curved design, so it's not going to collect any wind noise like you traditionally would with the Class C, but it also makes it a little more aerodynamic, more comfortable ride. And you do have this fiberglass front cap, and that's a one-piece molded fiberglass front cap, so there's no seams like a traditional Class C would have, so it maintains much better long-term in terms of maintenance. And then you do have the automotive windshield up front, which I'll talk about when we go on the inside of the motorhome.
So I have driven these before. I worked in the service department, you know, I take test drives, whatever. The Magnitude is incredible when it comes to driving capabilities. I mean, you're not sitting up like you're in a Class A, but you still have the power of a Class A. You've got, like we talked about, the 12,000 pound hitch on this. So you can pull a ton, and it's super, super, super quiet. It's comfortable, you're sitting down just like you're in a massive truck. You got a ton of leg room. So for you taller people out there, this is a great one. Not us, obviously, but it just runs incredibly quiet. It's got so much power. So it's a killer thing to have on this Magnitude. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's one of those things because even when you're on the inside, you usually get a diesel motorhome, you really hear that motor, especially in the Super C segment. I mean, a lot of those motors, to be honest, they're you hear it, especially when you're going uphill. When you're driving this thing, you'd be going 70, 75 miles an hour uphill towing, and it's still quiet. You're having a normal conversation in the cab, turns easily, extremely easy to drive. But the biggest thing with it is how quiet it is, smooth it is, and comfortable it is. That's the main things that you hit on right on the head.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So first thing before we go over the inside is I want to show you some of the basic controls kind of in the entryway right here. So first thing you're going to notice, you have your main power switch. So whenever you're camping, you always want to make sure that's on. The light will turn red when that is on. So that gives you power inside from your auxiliary batteries. And then right next to that is going to be your inverter controls. So if you want to run the refrigerator and have those outlets in the bedroom hot, hit that button on, then those outlets are going to be hot. You got the refrigerator going, but that's the controls for it right there. It's that Xantrax pure sine wave inverter. Next to that is going to be your 10 amp solar controller. So that's already set up, charging the battery right now as we speak. It's got wired all the way up to the 100 watt solar panel on the roof, and that then is wired down to the battery compartment, 12 gauge wiring. And then to the right of that, that's going to be one of the switch panels that you see throughout the motorhome. Those are removable, but they control kind of the area that switch panel is located at. So really easy, and it's nice because you can remove them, take them with you, and control everything nice and easy. Next thing to cover is going to be your master control panel. So this is the multiplex controls, and this controls everything in the motorhome. And the nice thing with this is this actually saves you a lot of weight and wiring when you have conventional switches located throughout the motorhome that you have to wire. So the nice thing with this, everything's located right here. On your home screen right here, you can turn your lights master on or off. You can open up the front shade, see your temperature on the inside. You got your fresh, gray, black, and LP tank levels. It actually gives you a percentage so you can see what percentage you have. You want to turn on the water pump, start or stop the generator, and then turn on your AGS and see your house and chassis battery levels all on that home page. So there's a lot of functions just on that first screen. Second page with the lightning bolt, that's going to be your auto gen start setting. So what auto gen start does, kind of exactly how it's named, it automatically turns on your generator. It's based on time, temperature, and voltage. All these settings are preset from the factory, but you can adjust it all yourself. So for instance, if there's a quiet time at the campsite or park you're at, you can't run the generator past 11 p.m. You set it to 11 p.m. and then start the generator back up at 7 a.m. You can run that generator all day and it'll automatically shut off at 11, start back up at 7 a.m. Same thing for voltage. If you're running that inverter for your refrigerator and then that's using your battery, as that battery draws down, you can set the voltage you want for your generator to start up at. So say you don't want your battery to drop below 12.5 volts. As soon as it drops below 12.5 volts, generator kicks on, charges it up to 14 volts or whatever you have it set at. And then you can set the amount of time it's gonna continue to run after it hits that mark. And then you can hit minimum run time, max gen run time, the amount of retries, and then you can go into the HVAC load right there as well. And then to start it, right up there. Third page is gonna be your lights. So you have each individual area you can control. If it has arrows, you hold the button and it will actually dim the lights for that area. So the living ceiling, the hall, and the bedroom ceiling will all dim. Temperature. So you get two 13.5 BTU roof air conditioners, both run independently. So this is how you turn each one on right here. Just set it to the temperature you want, hit cool, turn on auto, and it'll turn on and off to keep it at that desired temperature. I'd keep it right around 15 degrees colder than the temperature outside. And then your furnace controls are located right there as well. Hit furnace, high, lower, auto. Fans, you got your kitchen and your mid-bath fan. Slide controls. So the big thing with your slide controls, you get a full wall slide. You have to have the engine on, parking brake engaged, because the slides actually run off the chassis battery. Whenever you want to get them out, hit the extend button, hold it the entire time it goes out. Then once it's fully out, hold it another 3 to 5 seconds to make sure it is fully out. And then hit retract, same feel, let it come all the way in. If you ever need to resynchronize the slide motors, because if one's kind of out of sync and you want it to run a full cycle, hit the extend and retract button 6 times and hold it on the 6th. And when you hold it on the 6th, both motors will run a full cycle resynchronizing. Going to the settings page, there's a mobile app you can actually download. It's called the Vega Touch Mirror app. That app, it allows you to have all of these controls from your smartphone. And the nice thing with it is it works off Bluetooth, so if you're parked next to a low-hanging limb or another motorhome and you want to make sure you don't hit your slide with it, you can go right outside on your cell phone, get the slide out, and make sure you don't hit anything. You can see all your switch panels, make sure they're all working properly, or if you need to reconnect one, you can do that all right here. You can see change temperatures from Fahrenheit to Celsius, see your floor plan, change the time, and then screen brightness. Then there is a cleaning mode, you just hit that, you can clean the screen, hold it for another probably 10 to 15 seconds and it'll go back to the screen.
All right guys, so going through some of the stuff on the inside, we do have some storage up above your entry door here. You got storage up top, and then you've got your cabinet storage here, and this is hardwood?
Solid wood. Solid
wood, okay. So solid wood cabinetry, more durable. Talking about longevity here, it's going to be fantastic for you throughout your time with the motorhome.
One thing to point out, there's also no center styling right here.
Correct.
So that way, if you want to put in larger Tupperware or whatever, no hassle getting it in. And you talk about solid wood, all the cabinets, the faces, it's all solid wood.
Absolutely.
And this is our Regatta. So this is the dark wood, and then you also have the Sanibel, which is going to be your light wood.
Very nice. So then moving down to your furniture here, so it does come standard with your theater seating as you see here. And then there is an option for a sofa as well. So that's going to be a jackknife sofa?
Yes.
Yes, jackknife sofa. So you can have some extra sleeping if you have a bigger family. I know we do have bunks that we'll get to in a minute, but on some of your other floor plans you have that option as well.
The one thing to point out, if you do get the sleeper sofa, so you get 2 seat belts on the theater seats, you go with the sleeper sofa, you get an added seat belt. So you, with the theater seats, a total of 6, sofa, total of 7.
Yeah. So if you safely want to pack your family in here, you can absolutely do it. You do have a big, huge bunk up top here. This is just your classic Class C kind of bunk, but it is a lot bigger. It extends out further, correct? I mean,
correct.
It's probably pretty close to an RV Queen, somewhere around there. Decent size to where even if you're tall, you're not scrunched up at your feet. We do have a power cover here for your front window, as Garrett is taking down right now. It's a very nice feature. You got a massive front window. You can see everything from out the front there. It's just a very nice feature to have, and you can close it up whenever you want for privacy and all of that. But you do have tinted windows as well. So
one thing I'll point out on that front windshield is it's actually got many layers of sealant. There's actually layers of Sika sealant, which is an automotive sealant, and then we actually put RV sealant on there as well. So that's very well sealed up.
And that goes all the way around the entire perimeter, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's actually, you talked about how large that bunk is, but it's actually one of the largest, I'd say probably lowest. That's one thing customers always say, is that bunk is very easy to access with how low it is.
Right, absolutely, and it'll come with a ladder, obviously. So you do have a nice TV here, not sure on the size, but decent sized TV that will swing out and around, as Garrett is doing right now.
So when you're driving down the road, you lock it up, there you
lock
go.
it up so that thing is not shaking around on you like crazy. You do have your 4 tap lights up here, giving you nice lighting, and your cool blue lights that come across the side. Now you also have a curtain here that will just Velcro strap. You swing it all the way across. That's going to be helpful as well, give you a little bit of privacy when you're sleeping at night.
Another kind of going to the privacy like you were saying. So this is removable, make it easier to get in and out of the cab. But in terms of privacy, you got these Velcro attachments right here, and you're kind of wondering what those are for. It's usually located in the fridge when we ship it out. You actually have a curtain that connects to all these Velcros and actually kind of creates a horseshoe right here, so that way it gives you more privacy. Just something a little extra. It's nice to always have a little more privacy there.
And again, guys, big, huge cab area. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit better from this angle. You're not going to be scrunched up with your legs or anything like that. It's extremely comfortable.
That's one thing to really point out, is the leg room you have in this compared to a traditional Class C. It's very comfortable. You got plenty of leg room. You got the nice back adjustments, but also the biggest thing with how quiet the motorhome is, the leg room, the features in terms of Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I mean, long term, if you're driving 8 to 10 hours a day, I get a lot of customers, they want something reliable, driving through the Rockies, something like that. This makes long RV trips much more comfortable.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like any other dinette, this is going to be a bed as well, and you do have seat belts that come out as well there. So you do get a bunch of seats with seat belts that are accessible, so you can be safe, going down the road. Now, coming over here, I'll take this down in just a minute. I do want to hit on this. You do have a nice sunshade and a complete blackout shade. This is just a killer option. It's not pleated, obviously. Those pleats can go out of adjustment, and it is just a pain in the butt to get back. Storage up top as well. So taking these seats down, if you want to help me out here.
Yeah.
So you do just have, it's very, very easy. Push this up a little bit. So all it is you just have to pull your little handle on the bottom, and we can get a close-up of that here in just a minute. And then you're just going to push down, make sure it clears everything, and then get your cushions back on, and then you'll just fill in the extra space with your extra seat cushions.
Fully
Just
made
like
bed.
that. Pretty simple to do. I mean, anybody can do it there, and then bringing it back up, same deal. So, moving on, got hard countertops. This is Corian.
Solid surface.
Solid surface.
So
okay.
essentially the same thing.
Essentially the same thing, but just like any, your higher end Class A's, it's going to have the same deal on here. You've got the double sink stainless steel, and you do have a little pull hose out of that.
Does have dual sprayers, hot and cold adjustments. And it is retractable, like you saw there.
Right.
And then, nice thing with this countertop, really easy to clean, gives it a great look. We actually redesigned kind of the color of it in the 21 model year. But kind of going a little further, another redesign we had was this LED underglow underneath the cabinetry there.
It looks really, really cool.
Just gives it a nice kind of aesthetic look. But also going with kind of more kitchen features, you do have a tile backsplash here. It's actually tile. You do have the induction and 2 gas burners. So you have gas and electric, which customers really like having both options. And then up top here, you are going to have the convection microwave. Does everything an oven does. It roasts, it broils, cooks, does everything. So it's really sharp to have. And then you do have the power tower right here for more power access.
And it is nice to have the convection, not having, you know, an oven would be taking up space here, whereas you can have storage now, and you do have a nice pull-out storage bin as well. You have ample storage in this coach. Just a nice thing to have. On any other Class C, you're not going to have this amount of storage.
Ventilation's the next thing I always got to cover. So you have kind of a charcoal filter fan right here on the microwave itself, and then right up top here you do have the fantastic fan to give you more circulation right here. So that way if you're cooking, open up the window next to the sink, turn on the fan, get a nice flow of air, get everything moving. So that way, fresh smelling motorhome.
Absolutely. And then obviously you have more storage underneath here. It does come with a nice little trash bin, always nice. And then you've got your little pull-out drawer here, and then you've got ample drawers as well down here. These are all self-closing drawers. Nice little feature to have. They work very, very well. You know, on some motorhomes, new or used, you're going to have doors and drawers opening going down the road. I've noticed that these are really good about that. And they don't open near as much as you're going down the road, or if at all. So one other thing over here is that these 2 pads, you've got a pad here. This is going to control lighting, water pump, you know, your main things that you'll be using most of the time. You can actually detach and use as a remote. So you could be walking outside. So not on this remote. This does not have the awning feature, you know, the awning button, but that remote down there does. So you can take that off, go outside, make sure that when your awning is coming out, you're not hitting anything. You can be standing out there while it's happening so that you're not in here not seeing where it's going exactly. So moving over to this end of things, again, more storage. It's a very, very deep cabinet there. Another deep cabinet, and then a whole another row of drawers there as well.
You gotta pull out the drawer. Show them how deep it is. Look at that. That is a deep drawer right there, and you get 5 of those. Very nice.
Oh yeah. We didn't get all of them.
Okay. There you go. I like it.
Then you've got a nice residential size fridge with an ice maker that's Whirlpool brand. It's just a massive fridge. I mean, it's something that you're going to have at home, so you're going to be able to stack a lot of stuff in here on those long trips.
Then you do have an ice maker up top.
Yes,
you get a nice
do.
ice maker. Very large refrigerator. Runs off the generator when you're plugged into short power, or off that inverter, like you said.
Right, and you can run your generator going down the road as well, and it's still going to be quiet, just like the engine. So nice stuff there. Now moving on to the bunks. You're not going to get bunks in a lot of Super Cs. It's just not going to happen. So now you have capabilities of having more than just, you know, it's not just a mom and pop kind of coach. Now it's like a family coach. You have ample sleeping in here. Then you've got sliding doors as well, closing this up.
And one thing with this bunk, so you got the double bunks right here, but a lot of customers don't always want bunks.
Right.
And a lot of them want a very large closet. So the one thing with this is this bunk actually folds up. You got both mattresses right here, so it won't fold all the way up. But it actually folds up, locks into place in the corner there, and then you get a hanging rod. So if you want a very, very large closet,
right,
you got it right here. Don't even think of it as a bunk model, just think of it as a closet model.
My fiance would love this size bunk, for sure.
There you go.
For sure.
But yeah, just to show you those actual, and the nice thing, we changed this in the 21 model year. You actually get the solid doors here. You don't actually get the curtains. If you're looking inside the bunks, on the right-hand side, you are going to have the tablet holders as well with outlets. So you get 110 and USB. We kind of went away from having the TVs in each bunk. We were realizing kids weren't even watching the TVs anymore.
Right.
They were just using their tablets. So you get actual tablet holders inside each bunk area, so that way makes it easy to hold it. And then you have lights in each bunk as well.
it is nice having the 2 windows in there. It'll give you a little bit of ventilation if you need it, or whatever it is. Lighting, you know, natural light coming through. And there are a ton of windows on here. You are going to get a lot of natural light in here. You won't need to have all the lights on, even though there are a ton of them. Keeping it extremely bright in here for you. And you do have some storage underneath as well.
So going into the bathroom here, one thing you're going to notice is you do have the lock on the shower door right here. So you open it up. Then you're going to notice you have the stainless steel shower head. It does have a D-ring right here, so that way it holds it into place much better, especially when you're driving down the road and you don't have it flailing around. And it's also going to cause it from not falling off. But when you are driving, lock it into place, boom, good to go. You do have nice storage inside here. See these large doors, so that way if you got toiletries, you want to store your toilet paper, whatever it is, you got all that space right there. It's a lot of space, especially in a bathroom. You don't get full top to bottom storage like that. Then going a little further, I'll let you come in here to see. You'll have a porcelain toilet with a foot flush. You are going to have a stainless steel bowl sink. You'll notice the 2 controls right there. One's going to be your 110 outlet. The other one's going to be the controls for your water heater. So all the controls right there. Large medicine cabinet, and you are going to have 360 siphons for your black tanks. So your black tanks will be ventilated. So you got PVC piping going up to the roof with a little chimney on top, so that way all the fumes that build up go out and escape through the roof. Then another thing to point out, right down here, your water filter is located underneath the bathroom sink.
Guys, that's going to give you easy access. You know, if you need to change out the water filter, that's a nice thing to have it right there. You don't have to go outside and get to the wet bay and mess with all of that. Another thing is that water heater that's on here, the tankless water heater, it's something that you may think, let's say you have a big 5th wheel and you want to upgrade to something like this. The tankless water heater is amazing. I mean, it's really nice if you have, if somebody in your family takes longer showers, it's going to be a killer option to have on here. And it does work very, very, very well. So that's pretty sweet there. More sliding doors here. I mean, we've got sliding doors all over. You got more sliding doors for your privacy coming into the bedroom. Nice, I mean, a decent sized bedroom. And you're going to also be able to get to the bed while you're driving down the road. If you do want to take a nap or whatever, you can get to the bed here.
Talking about the differences, because this, with the RS36, the nice thing with this F600 chassis being able to handle more weight, we can make this about a foot longer, but the nice thing with it is you get a king size bed, because the RB34 had a queen size bed. So now we're able to put in a larger bed, and it's still a full walk around bed. You are going to have 110 and USB outlets on both sides. Nice headboard here. And then just talking about decor options, this is going to be your black diamond decor. There's 3 decors: black diamond, waterfall, and vanilla twilight. But in terms of windows, you get a lot of window space in here. You get 3 windows, but you have pull down shades here. You are going to have a pull down shade right there and another pull down shade underneath the TV. Those are blackout curtains. You got them rubber banded in place.
Yes, they do.
Now, nice reading lights right here, but very deep storage up above. So very, very large storage there. And then you do have that storage compartment, and you get nightstands on both sides of the bed, and you do have added storage inside the nightstands. But
this is going to be good for people with CPAPs as well. You're going to have shelving here,
outlets,
so that you can. A lot of people need the CPAPs, nothing wrong with it, but we do have spots for it, so you're good there.
Then your radio controls located right here. So that's for the inside of the motorhome. It does have Bluetooth connectivity and has different zones you can control. And then kind of showing you the rest of the bedroom area, you do have a flat screen TV, 32-inch, and that does pop up for more storage. And if you do have a PlayStation, Xbox, DVD player you want to hook up, you can put it right back there, hook it up directly to the back of the TV. And there is 110 and USB outlets down there as well, or in the inside.
Yeah, so you do have a lot more drawers in here. This is not light on storage, obviously, like we've been saying. So you've got storage in through here. You got nice lights in here. Shirt hanger up in the top there. And then another cool thing that you just don't find on Class C's is going to be a washer dryer prep that is inside of here.
Combo.
It sits, yeah, for a combo. So it sits inside the wall back here. All we would have to do is take the screws out. We could do it here at Mount Comfort. We can install it for you. but it is a combo deal that will sit right inside of here.
One of the other new things for 2022 is that telescoping bunk ladder that you see right there. So it goes nice and easy into storage, because that was always the one thing. Where do you store your bunk ladder? They're very large, so now it just folds together, kind of drops down into place, and then easy to store. Open it up, hook it up to the front.
Okay guys, so it's been a great day here with Garrett. Thank you very much for the walkthrough.
Anytime.
You do really know a lot, so that's always good to hear from the sales rep. So this has been the Thor Magnitude, the new 2022 RS36. As you can see, it's a fantastic Super C. In my opinion, it takes the cake here. Like just a little recap here, you know, you've got the really quiet engine. It can pull a ton, pull whatever you want to pretty much. That 12,000 pound hitch is pretty killer. And just all the nice features that come with it. So again, Garrett, thank you very much for coming out today.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll have a great day then. Alrighty.